Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. I'm your host, Barbara, and I'm glad you're joining us today. We're starting off with a story that's been making waves in the wine and spirits industry. The threat of tariffs on European imports has been looming large, and it's got many businesses on edge. The Trump administration's proposal to impose a 200% tariff on certain European goods, including wine and spirits, has sparked concerns about the potential impact on the industry. Now, let's take a closer look at what this means for consumers and businesses alike. According to reports, a 200% tariff would be catastrophic for the wine and spirits industry globally. Many restaurant owners, beverage directors, liquor distributors, and wine importers are worried about how they'll be able to absorb the increased costs. Some are predicting that even modest tariffs could send shockwaves throughout the entire food and beverage ecosystem, weakening distribution channels and driving up already high prices. The U.S. Wine Trade Alliance has advised its members to cease wine shipments from Europe until there's more clarity on the situation. This has left many small, family-owned businesses in a difficult position as they try to navigate the uncertainty and potential financial fallout. It's not just the wine industry that's affected either. The tariffs could also impact European-themed restaurants, such as French bistros and Italian trattorias, which rely heavily on imported goods. Consumers may see price increases or changes to menus as a result. We want to hear from you. How do you think these potential tariffs will affect your business or your favorite restaurant? Share your thoughts with us on social media using the hashtag #Barbara'sBulletin. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we'll be keeping a close eye on the developments and exploring the potential implications for businesses and consumers alike. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're glad you're still with us as we dive into the latest developments from around the world. In this segment, we're focusing on a critical situation unfolding in South Sudan, where the fragile peace between President Salva Kiir and his rival, First Vice President Riek Machar, seems to be on the brink of collapse. For those who may not be familiar with the context, let's take a step back. The two leaders have a long and complex history, marked by periods of cooperation and conflict. Their differences sparked a 5-year civil war that ended with a peace deal in 2018, but tensions between them have never fully dissipated. Recently, reports emerged that Riek Machar has been placed under house arrest, which has raised concerns about the stability of the region. The government accuses Machar's party, the SPLM-IO, of collaborating with a predominantly newer militia known as the White Army, allegations that the SPLM-IO denies. To understand the nuances of this situation, it's essential to consider the historical context and the ethnic dynamics at play. The conflict in South Sudan has often been characterized by clashes between the Dinka and newer tribes, with both Kiir and Machar drawing support from their respective communities. As we navigate this complex web of alliances and rivalries, it's crucial to approach the situation with empathy and understanding for all parties involved. The people of South Sudan have suffered greatly during the civil war, and any escalation of violence would only exacerbate their plight. We must also recognize the efforts of international organizations and mediators working tirelessly to promote peace and stability in the region. Their dedication and perseverance are a testament to the global commitment to resolving conflicts through dialogue and diplomacy. As we continue to monitor developments in South Sudan, we'll provide you with updates and analysis, striving to present a balanced perspective that reflects the complexities of this critical situation. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to shift our attention to the world of international trade and diplomacy. Brazilian President Luiz InãO Lula da Silva has been making headlines with his recent visit to Japan and his strong statements on global trade. According to reports from The Hill, President Lula criticized the Trump administration's approach to global trade, saying that the newly announced tariffs on global car imports are likely to harm all economies involved. He emphasized that protectionism does not help any country in the world. This sentiment was echoed in his meetings with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, where they discussed the importance of cooperation and free trade in the face of global challenges. The Japan Times reported that President Lula's visit to Tokyo marked a significant milestone in the country's diplomatic relations, with the adoption of a 5-year action plan and several agreements on trade, security, and green energy. This partnership is seen as essential for promoting harmony in the international community, particularly in the face of growing global divisions. Meanwhile, the Straits Times noted that President Lula has vowed to lodge a complaint with the World Trade Organization over the U.S. tariffs on Brazilian steel. He warned that these tariffs risk inflation and damage to the U.S. economy, stating that protectionism doesn't help any country in the world. As we consider these developments, it's clear that the global trade landscape is becoming increasingly complex. The tensions between protectionism and free trade are playing out on the world stage, with significant implications for economies around the globe. Here at Barbara's Bulletin, we'll continue to monitor these developments and provide you with in-depth analysis and balanced perspectives. We believe that it's essential to stay informed and engaged on these critical issues, as they have far-reaching consequences for us all. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged.